Hello ladies and gentlemen, post-video pre-editing message here. Due to the nature of Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment, its very existence spoils episodes 1 through 14 of the anime Sword Art Online, and this video also contains spoilers for said anime due to the nature of the game. If you wish to view the anime before you can play the game, there are several websites you may wish to go to that stream the episodes legally, including Crunchyroll, Aniplex, or Hulu. Thank you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. I've been playing this for about 6.5 hours straight. I can't really see, so I hope this is actually recording. Yeah, I only got this at like 6 AM this morning because I've been having a little bit of a back and forth with a Namco rep, but they decided that thanks to my undying assistance to the Vita, or dedication to the Vita I should say, they decided to give me a press copy of this like 24 hours before it's due to come out. There's a look at your options right there. Again, I've only been playing for 6.5 hours, so as always, this series has always been about first impressions. So the 6.5 hours that I've played for are going to be my first impressions, and you're going to see how the game is so far. Thankfully, the game's actually really quick. It doesn't have that many loading screens, and then you just get jumped right into the game. I picked this face because I'm always smiling, and even in the really dramatic cutscenes, that still looks funny to me. But anyway, this is just our in-room. We can sleep to make the in-game clock go faster, or we can come over here and change our avatar. We might as well just have a quick look at that, because why not? So you can pick a couple of different hairstyles. You can change your face type and your eye color and your hair color. And this one looks like it's either constantly stoned or constantly sleepy. I'm gonna go for constantly sleepy because that's more believable. You can even change the individual color of your eyes, but yeah, just look at this. Your eyes never open when you've got this face, so you change the color of your tattoos. It's kind of great, and you got 7 different voices. I love that. I love that sound. If you can hear rain in the background anytime through this video, I'm sorry, I can't control the weather. Now, one really annoying control I have to talk about right away, because this annoys the crap out of me. Rear touchpad changes how close the camera is to your character. It's annoying the shit out of me, and there's nothing much I can do about it, because I always end up touching this by accident. But anyway, we'll just move on out. Whoops, I keep forgetting X is sit. Get up. Thank you. Can't even see what you're doing. Go outside! Thankfully, the game has autosave. Unfortunately, since the game has autosave and there's only one save slot, I haven't really had the opportunity to actually, you know, make manual saves and hopefully see a cutscene with a lot of talking in it. Fortunately, I did take the initiative and actually recorded one, so I'm going to play this over the top right now. I just asked me in the future doesn't actually interrupt me in the middle of this sentence.
ちょっと雰囲気が重いような、なんか真面目な話でもしてた。
キリト君にヒースクリフのこと聞いてたんです。
ヒースクリフ？
私も聞いてていいですか？75層で起きたことあんまり詳しく知らないんで。
それ私もよく知らないのよね。
よし、そのことについては俺から説明させてくれや。多大な犠牲を払いつつ俺たちは75層のボスを倒すことに成功したわけだ。その後だ、ヒースクリフがイモータルオブジェクト、不死存在だってことに気づいたのは、最強の味方の一人が実は最悪の敵ってシナリオだったわけさ。その目論見みを暴かれ、ヒースクリフはこう言い放つ。1対1で戦って勝てたら75層でこのゲームを終わりにしてやると。答えは決まってる。いいだろう、決着をつけよう。勝ってこの世界を終わらせる。戦いは苛烈を極めた。こっちの二刀流に対しヒースクリフは新聖剣っていうすんげえエクストラスキルの持ち主だ。左右から攻撃を繰り出せば非常な正確さで的確に攻撃を叩き落としていく。防戦一方かと思えばこちらの隙を見て確実な一撃を仕掛けてくる。戦いは続いた。しかし諦めるなんてことはありえない。奴が見せた一瞬の隙をついてソードスキルを叩き込む。ジ・エクリプス。
ごっくり。それから
地響き、暗転、そして世界は真っ白に。こうしてヒースクリフを見事打ち砕いたってわけだ。まったくハードなミッションだったぜ。
ちょっとそれをしたのはキリト君でしょ。
でもびっくりした。キリト君が世間を騒がせたあの大事件の首謀者を倒したなんて。ですよね。キリトさんはやっぱりすごいです。最後のボスを倒したんですから。
でも終わってないじゃない。そんなことがあったのね。それにしてもあんた実は強かったんだ。
そうです。パパはとっても強いんです。向かうところ敵なしですから。
いいじゃないのキリト君。娘に自慢されるなんてパパ冥利に尽きるんじゃない？
ママも素敵ですよ。私パパもママも大好きです。
ありがとうゆいちゃん。
説明してくれてありがとねキリト君。
いろいろ分かったわ。ありがとう。よろしく頼む。
You son of a bitch! Whatever, let's move on. So anyway, we got a few characters around here. This is Leafa. Don't even know why she said that. We got Ebert? Elbert. We have Elbert. He's not very important. And we have Asuna right here. What are you doing sitting down with this guy? You're so jealous every time I bloody look at a woman. You can sit down next to Elbert, fine? Alright, fine, you can come with me. But yeah, anyway, as you saw from that, like, 5 minutes of cutscene that I just showed you, the voice acting in this game is actually pretty damn talented. I actually like the voice acting a lot, especially Kirito's voice acting. But Kirito doesn't actually do that much talking in this game. I really should have pointed out this video is going to be full of spoilers. I'll have to chop that in over the top, but yeah. Hello, we have an item shop guy here. He sells a fair amount of stuff. And there's a lot of stats, as you can see. I'm only level 105 and the cap is 200, so there's a lot of upgrading and stuff in this game. So while we're here, we might as well have a look around. We have equipment. Equipment does things like give you stats and extra effects, like for example, this armor I'm wearing gives me bleed to all my attacks. That's really useful. we have the skill tree. Now, the skill tree is bloody large. Look at this thing. It's huge. And you have to spend skill points to unlock stuff. So, for example, I could spend 9 of my 14 skill points to unlock the Crimson Splash, which is a skill which does 8 slashes with plus 80% dexterity, and it's a heavy attack as well. Or I could, as if I had the requirements, necessary mastery 800. So when I get to 800 mastery of dual wielding, I can unlock a new level, and that lets me unlock more stuff as well. And it also increases my damage with dual wielding swords. There's also a lot of other miscellaneous skills as well. Like, you got lots of stuff for parrying here. You can even go and get things like celerity, or we can go get a survival. But there is a lot of stuff to go through here. I imagine we have to go through sword skill, then that'll let us go down to scimitar, and then we can go to survival from there. But we've got scout too, so we can, yeah, it's kind of ridiculously complicated. You gain skill points by leveling up, obviously. As you can see in the bottom right there, playtime about 6 hours 30. Got some items here, got all the basic stuff. I've got lots of items, got lots of crap items. I've got the elucidator and the dual repulsor. Lots of stuff. You can come here to your friends list. There's a ton of friends. And you can even put them on watch for some reason. I imagine to put them up top, because I've already got 29 friends and I've barely done anything. I've only just beaten the first boss and there's like 25 of the bastards. But yeah, you can check messages from your friends. As you may have noticed from the 5-minute cutscene that played, yeah, this game's got a couple of issues with the English. I find it to be more charming more than anything else, though. I don't really have that much of a problem with it. It's kind of funny, especially when anybody brings up any references to penetrating. I'm pretty sure they mean dungeoneering, and penetrating, well, I'll let you guess what that means in the context that I would usually put it in. And the Cracker 12, let's go out and actually check out the hub town. We're in the Central Plaza, floor 76. Unfortunately, there's not really that much we can do here. It's either go to the left or go to the right. There might be some people wandering around, but there's no real point. This actually gives me the opportunity to just talk about your partner characters. Your partner characters you can actually do a lot with them. You can chat with them, you can give them weapons, you can check how intimate they are with you. You can even hold their hands and carry them around like your waifu. And unfortunately, you can't do waifu carry-arounds when you don't have that heavy of a relationship with them. You have to keep talking to them and talking to them and talking to them. It's like, god damn it, just let me carry you around. It's fun. I'll show off chatting in a minute. I'm sure we can find a good bench to sit down on or something. This is the teleport gate. This isn't actually where I wanted to go, because I wanted to go the other direction, unfortunately. We can actually talk to her now, and it's actually a special chat because the speech bubble was orange. So when you talk to people, you get one of two options, which is kind of strange. You got circle, which is ... or you press R, which is great, and you can't really interpret what exactly you're supposed to say. It kind of throws me off a bit. There's another one of the main characters in the background there. Yes, hello! Are you really going to interrupt the conversation? What? Didn't even mean this. What are you doing? Stop standing there, it's creepy! Good lord, Lisbeth! So yeah, it's kind of hard to interpret what you meant to say here. The more you chat to people and don't walk away like you... That was weird. So, when you're chatting with people, it's kind of strange trying to determine what you're supposed to say. When you talk to them enough, you usually get more intimate with them, but you have to get that bar to fall. It's kind of annoying. And holding your hands and carrying around like a waifu, I don't know how much of an effect that actually does have, but there are trophies for maxing out people. So here we are on the shopping street. We're in the Lisbeth Smith shop, and here comes the owner, who just so happens to be the same girl who was trying to interrupt us. So anyway, we can ask her to do stuff for us. We can get our weapons upgraded using different types of ores that we pick up. And we can increase different sets of stats. So as you can see here, if we put this one on, it's a 70% upgrade success rate, and we get some more vitality out of it. Etc, etc, etc. Each weapon can be upgraded a certain amount of times, and you can reset the count. You can also come here to create weapons. Unfortunately, I don't actually have enough ores to get some weapons created yet, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't even know how good those weapons would be. I've just been sticking with the weapons I got at the beginning of the game, and that's gotten me through the first boss at the very least. God, I just keep mumbling on at light speed, like I'm just trying to get this done over and quick. This won't be done quickly, by the way. We're 10 minutes in. This is going to be much longer than... Well, we're 15 minutes in, actually. Hello, we can form a party with pretty much every character that's not an NPC, but I can imagine why you'd want to stick with the main girls. Mainly the unique look. And the... Yeah, I won't even bother talking about that. We've got a bunch of other shops around here with random things you can buy, but the most important ones happen to be this one here, which I believe is another item shop. Yep. We can also come here, and this is an armor shop where we can buy armor. And there's also a weapon shop over here, so we can come here and buy some weapons if we want to. Gold is kind of hard to come by in this game. It's a little bit difficult. It's not too hard to get, but I mean, don't go spending it all at once. You get like 6 million to start off the game, but that won't get you very far if you want a new weapon or something. Let's go back the way we came, because that's the quickest way to the teleport gate. What did I miss in the... Oh yeah, I missed a few things in here. So, the guilds. This tells us information about stuff that we need to know. So, we have... This is floor 77, so... We start off on floor 76, but then you beat that, you move on to floor 77. The goal is to get to floor 100 and beat boss level 100. And then that happens, because spoiler alert... This game takes place after the first arc of Sword Art Online, where you kill the big main guy, but nothing happens. So you have to keep going through the game and hoping shit works. So right here, we've got a bunch of quests we need to do, and that will give us information on the boss. And we can't move on to the actual boss until we've done those 3 things down underneath check. So as we can see, we need to complete the Sweetness Challenge. We need to defeat a sub-boss. And we need to destroy the legs to seal the entire attack. I'm not sure what that means. Also, we got a recommended strength of our group, and our group strength is actually really high, so we could probably take it out right away. Quests, I'll get onto them. We can also check the map of the location, but we can't do that. And I'll get onto the hollow map and the implements later on when they become more relevant. And we've also got the options screen there. And in a nice little a nod to the way the series works, obviously, it kind of has to be like that. Hello, 3 people that obviously just walked right through us. In a nice little nod to the way that the game works, we can't log out. So yeah, the basic story is that we're all stuck in a virtual reality online MMORPG. And if we die in game, we die in real life, and we have to get to floor 100 to get out. It's pretty simple, really. So anyway, this is the quest giver. His name's Kirby. Why isn't he pink? I don't know. But anyway, we've got a ton of quests we can accept here, so what we're going to do is we're going to accept a few of them. They're usually related to the floor we're on, but I've actually got a quest from the previous floor. Actually, I can turn that in, so let's turn that in. The menus here are really slow, but pretty much every other menu is actually pretty fast, so it's kind of odd. So yeah, I got a little bit of money, a little bit of XP. It's not that much, considering you need like 10,000 to level up. 500 feels like nothing. Alright, so we can also go and get some... we can also go and do some gathering. And we will just accept that final quest, because we're here, why not? And we actually kind of need to, because this is the important one. So we need to find 3 Nectarious Saps. We'll come back for what the big thing is related to this later on. First, I'm just going to show you how this little area works. Hopefully this won't take too long, but this is a fairly slow game, at least progress-wise, so we might be here for... Actually, hold on. I'm going to have to go back to that thing anyway, because I'm on the wrong floor, and I'm an idiot. Didn't realize... Yeah, I'd gone back to floor 76 because I'm a moron. We actually have to go to this. So we can use this to teleport to the hollow area, but when... Should we do that? Get it out of the way? Nah, we'll use the teleport gate. We have item storage, but I'm pretty sure you can guess how that works. So, we're going to go up to floor 77. No real difference between 76 and 77, and I can't imagine that really holds up all the way through to 100. I mean, I imagine that holds up all the way through to 100, so... You can check the weapon, armor, and item shops, and you can go to the end to skip through time, but you can also go straight to the field. Kind of annoying, it's like, why can't I just have an exit room that I can just go, like, straight to floor 77's field? Alright, so we're on the field for floor 77. Now, the way this works is that we have to go and find the dungeons, and then we have to go and... go through that dungeon, and then we have to go and find the boss room, and then we'll get thrown back, and we'll have to talk to people to go and attack the boss. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. We're going to just avoid combat right now, because here comes something immediately. Watch this. Seriously, who puts their gamer tag as Apple? Good lord, how sheltered do you have to be? Okay, so... sometimes you actually have to help people, which is kind of... it's kind of cool, because it kind of emulates the fact that you're in a virtual reality MMO, and you actually have to help people out, and you need to keep people alive in order to progress in the game. Alright, so here comes combat. We press circle, and we're immediately on the attack. So the way the system works, now that we're in combat, if we press circle, we do burst attacks. It drains our burst meter though. So our burst meter has now been drained. There's also dodging on the X button, which is actually kind of odd considering this is supposed to be an MMO, and I imagine there'd be some sort of lag involved. But that also requires burst. There's risk. So now that we've switched our riskers back down to 0, risk makes it so that you're viable for more damage, and that you generate burst a whole lot slower. He's going to ask that I stun someone, and now that I've stunned someone, she'll be able to combo off that and get some more damage in. And now that we've both done a sword skill at the same time, we both do a big sword combo. That does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, when you run out of MP and SP and burst, good lord, I keep thinking of other game mechanics. The battles actually slow down a bit because you have to wait for your SP to recharge and you have to wait for your burst to come back, and it gets a little bit annoying. The most you can do when your burst and your SP are gone is do mostly just single attacks just by standing and waiting. You've also got an auto block and an auto dodge, but it doesn't do much. Your main stun move is on square, and you can also parry by pressing triangle at the right time. I like that the combat actually has an element of timing to it, considering you actually have to dodge and you actually have to parry at the right time in order to get the most amount of effect out of it. Now I'm being told to use an AoE sword skill, so I might as well. If you press L and R, it brings up the skill palettes and the core palettes. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot. I did not mean to do that. If you press both of them at once, yeah, that happens. So if we press L and X, that's one type of thing, but unfortunately I was too far away. That was kind of silly of me. Now if I press L and square, this is actually an area of effect, so I hit more than one of them at once, which is fairly effective. Let's do it again. So you got two different palettes to put skills on. Also on the left, you can see there, if you're holding L and use the D-pad instead of the face buttons, you can tell them to do specific things. So, girl, guard. You can also actually give them a bit of a boost. If you press up on the D-pad at any time, she'll think it's good. And the thing is, the AI actually learns, which is pretty cool, because if you tell an AI that something is good, they will remember to do that again. It is actually quite fun to... It's actually quite fun to teach the AI how you like to do combat. So I gained a ton of XP. And I helped this lovely young lady. I helped this lovely young lady. Probably a man. So there are slimes up ahead, but I believe we finished that challenge, that quest, so I don't think we need to worry about that. What we want to do is we want to be looking around for gather areas. Those are probably the most important things we want at the moment. Gather areas are symbolized on the ground by sparkles. You know what I mean. You'll know it when you see it. And I probably won't, because you know me, I'm blind when I'm playing games. We can tap the top right corner to bring up the map. That's very important later on. Not very important in these levels because they are basically just like straightforward, find your way. Like they are just literally straight paths to the dungeon, more or less. There's usually like one or two hidden areas, but otherwise... Well, by hidden areas, I mean there's a couple of beaten paths you can go off in order to find a couple of treasure chests, but Nothing really that momentous, but thankfully there is actually a big, that looks like a gigantic American eagle, good lord. Is that, that's a bald eagle, isn't it? At least I think that's what they based it off. Let's do this. I like that attack, it looks kind of cool. Alright, I'll stun it. Can you finish it off? That'll be a yes. There are also like mini boss enemies to fight along the way, and when I get to the hollow area, trust me, this whole system starts making a whole lot more sense once you get to the hollow area. You'll also find random people walking around, and they'll even... I just went backwards, didn't I? God damn it. Remember what I said about not really paying any attention while I do videos? Yeah! That's the third time I've done that. Not even the second time. That's the third time I've managed to get myself turned around after an event. I am worthless. So we're just going to head forward and see if we can find any more events, and hopefully we'll be able to actually get to a boss. Yeah, I should have known. I didn't even cross this bridge. Yeah, as you can see, you see people walking around, and they'll actually ask for your help. And they'll help, and you can actually ask, you can help them level up and stuff like that, and they'll even help you out on combat and stuff, so it's pretty cool. It really does feel like a big world that a bunch of people are inhabiting, because the main story of Sword Art Online is that only 10,000 people got into this game, so... A teleportation device, huh? Alright, so we have to hit the teleportation device. Let's see what it does. Ruin in the sky. Okay, so we'll just have to keep going then. So yeah, most of the game is going through these sorts of battles and leveling up, and you will need to level up a lot. Because, as I said before, the level cap is 200. I wish Asuna would attack different people. I wish your AI companion would actually attack different people. Excuse me, I'm not 100% sure what got my nose there. But the AI itself is actually pretty intelligent for the most part. She was acting like an idiot the first time I tried to fight the first boss, because she ended up doing something really stupid. She just kept attacking the boss without actually taking a minute to step back and heal herself and got herself killed. And thankfully, when your companion gets killed, it ends the game and resets your save so that you... Well, let me try that again. You get sent back to your previous save, which is usually right before the boss fight. So... Okay, so we got a fair amount of XP to go into the next level. We can come here and try this teleport. I have no idea where this will take us. Alright, this will be one of those areas where you have to find the big boss and take it out, well. But yeah, the AI companions are usually fairly intelligent. Just, you know, be smart about it. Get out of the way and heal them if they need it, and you'll usually do fine. Let's use an area of effect attack, trying to just get faster. When you're out of burst, you can still do things like burst attacks, but they do a ton less damage. So you have to kind of have to be careful about conserving your boost. And your risk always stays at level 5 unless you're like close to getting out of combat, or if you just let it way down, or if you switch. So what you want to do is you want to be switching as much as you possibly can. Unfortunately, switch and goods are limited on how much you can cast them at a time, so you have to be pretty careful about that. So it's all about timing your switches correctly, exactly the opposite of what I did, in order to keep your risk down and keep your output of burst high, because again, your burst charges up so slowly when you're at risk level 5, and it's so quick when it's on burst level 1 that you really want, at risk level 1, that you really want to be constantly switching as much as possible. Okay, so come in here and take the aggro for me. Because when you have low risk, you've also got the least aggro, so it's a good idea to get that done. Get everybody to focus on... Get everybody else to focus on it so you can get in there and get a good attack in. We can open this chest. I assume some of these chests are supposed to be trapped, but... As I have noticed, I haven't really found one. How good is that item? I'm wondering how good that... I can't really tell unless I'm in the equipment screen. Yeah. There are a couple of things you can improve with this game. Unfortunately, most of the swords I've found aren't actually outright improvements yet. That's kind of annoying. Considering that the ores I've found so far are actually pretty limited. I imagine you can go through, like, specific hollow area missions. Again, I'll get to that soon, I promise. But I imagine you can go through the hollow area and grind those and... Ooh, big slime. Alright, so let's go and defeat this son of a... Oh, god damn, he's on us already. No, Mr. Slime. I really should have waited until we're actually in battle. Good lord. So I've got darkness and... I think I might use... Is that really necessary? Let's just up the speed just to... You do have to stand still and let these enchantments cast for a little bit, and if your MP goes away... Oh, I got a stunt. A stunt. There we go. All in good fun. The battles themselves actually get fairly repetitive after a while, but at the same time, it's an MMORPG. I can't bloody blame... Whoop. That's another little bit of an issue you have. Whenever you're trying to activate something that requires the circle button, you might accidentally end up talking to your allies instead. So we can go and have a look for more items if we like, but considering we can come back to this area later, or at least I can come back to this area later, I'm just going to go right ahead and see if I can find a good boss. I might be able to show you a boss, but that depends if I can keep the commentary going for long enough, because the boss still might be a little bit further away. So I'm going to have to just, you know, hope for the best and maybe start talking about random stuff. That's just another item down there. I really should have turned around a little bit earlier. But yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of stuff to play around with in this game. It's a fairly entertaining romp of statistics. It's got a lot of different things you can check out, and again, the maximum level cap is 200, and you start at 100, so there's a fairly large amount of things to play with. Oh, for God's sake! Go away! Thankfully, you can avoid a lot of combat by running from it, but if it's a really strong enemy, they'll catch up with you really fast, and you've got to be careful of that. I guess the only real way I can go is that way? Yep, that would be another switch over there. Really should just learn to look around first, because I'm a dumbass when it comes to stuff like that. Wife is falling behind a little. Also, they can follow you a really long way. It's another one of those bloody slimes. Alright, so come here, yes, SOB. We swap immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Inferno. Good. Penetrate, yes. Lovely. And deep impact to finish him off. There we go. We're good. We've got one more to go beat. Because you know what it's like with MMORPGs. Whenever they say that was the second one, there's usually one more hiding right in front of us. That bird is still following us around, good lord. Oh, great. You tell me this now when I exhaust every little bit of MP I have? God damn it, woman. Wish you'd stop asking for silly stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's swap. Because I want my burst back. There are probably easier ways to get your... I'd love to use my sword skill, but I do not have the MP. Do you understand what the SP? Good lord. I'm in bloody Final Fantasy mode today or something. I haven't even played Final Fantasy in a bloody week. Come on. Let's just finish you off. Can we finish you off? No, probably not. Let's just... Yeah, we're done. Almost. There we go. No real overkill bonus or anything like that. That's a shame. So, we get the final switch. All power switches are on and the teleporter's up and running, so let's go and actually use that teleporter and hope it brings us to the dungeon where the boss is. I'd also have to go and actually... Yeah, looks like I won't be getting to a boss, but imagine a really, really big monster surrounded by like 5 or 6 little guys, and 5 or 6 guys just beating the crap out of it. So let's use the teleporter. The big boss battles are actually a lot of fun because you have to be conserving your energy and you want to try and get as many people through alive as possible. Silent Fresh Greenwood Avenue. Doesn't look that fresh to me. You have to try and get as many people through alive as possible. And if you get everybody through without losing anybody, and you can also get the last hit on bosses, and if you get the last hit, you actually get a special item for it. I've always hated last hitting in video games, but in a single player game where it's you and you alone who can time your last hits correctly, that makes me feel a whole lot better about them. Some of the monster designs in this game is ridiculous. So yeah, we can continue onward, but frankly, I think that'll take too long, so what we're going to do is we're going to head back and going to check out the hollow area. But basically, we keep going through, we do our little individual quests, we get all 3 of our guild requirements done, and then we go and find the boss dungeon and do a boss fight, and it's a very interesting boss fight. Maybe I can go back to floor 77 and show off the boss fight on that. I might see if I can do that, actually. That'd be an interesting experiment. And if not, we'll go straight to the hollow area, because the hollow area is definitely the more interesting part of this game. I mean, like, the singular floor dungeon crawling is... This is enjoyable, but I can imagine why people would have gone bored of it back on the PSP version, so I might as well comment on that. People have asked me to tell the difference between Sword Art Online Infinity Moment and Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment is Sword Art Online Infinity Moment, except the graphics have been upgraded for the Vita, and they've added the hollow area and all its relevant mechanics. That some people were confused because one of the press releases from Namco Bandai stated that it was an upgraded HD version of Sword Art Online Infinity Moment was included in Hollow Fragment. Well, Hollow Fragment is that HD remaster. So, it is the same game as Infinity Moment, except it includes the hollow area. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here. We're going to go to floor 76. I like the day-night cycle, by the way. It gives it a nice little... It gives a nice little set of... what's the word I'm looking for? That's not the... It gives a nice sense of just life in the world. Even if it's just a bunch of monsters wandering around random areas, it makes the world feel more alive, and I have to admit I like it a lot. This game does a lot better at portraying its world, at least compared to a game like Akiba's Trip. I wasn't that big of a fan of the way Akiba's Trip did Akiba, because I didn't really know much about it. It just felt like one big advertisement after another and not much else. That bird is really goddamn loud. You're probably going to hear that on the recording. Good lord. Alright, well, we're just gonna wander on through here, and if we can't actually get to the boss, it's not too far, it'll only take a couple of minutes at a run, but if we can get through to the boss, great, we'll fight it. If we can fight it and we get destroyed, well, you know, no problem, we can just go to the hollow area. And if we can't find it, we'll just go back to the hollow area. Simple as that, really. I've been recording for about 34 minutes now. So yeah, as I said before, you go through small dungeons like this, but that's actually not the way I wanted to go, because that leads to like a sub-event that we already took care of. We want to ignore these guys because they're like weaklings, not worth our time fighting. As you can see, this is a normal dungeon. It's got a bunch of treasure chests laid out off the beaten path, and in some cases, some are even on the beaten path. And there's the dog again. Good lord, everything is so loud today. We just continue on here. Thankfully, we're not too far now. There is a gigantic spider monster here, but we can just ignore that. That's actually a really good spot down there to use AoE attack. Oh god, they're behind me. I've got to keep running. This is actually a really tall canyon. Oh, gather area. Just so you can see how this works. You find them, get an item from them. And you couldn't find any more items. And the day-night cycle actually refreshes those item drops, which is really cool. Not much else to say, really. Just really cool. We'll continue onwards. It's up here. It'll only take us a couple of minutes to get back. And so, I might as well just talk about something absolutely random while we go, because we're not that far away. It's not too far. Video schedule for the next couple of days. It's going to be, tomorrow will be Crimson Land. Day after that will be Gravity Badges. Day after that will be Counter Spy. Or maybe I can delay Gravity Badges another day. I'm already delaying it a day. So, yeah, I think I'll just delay. I think we'll just delay Gravity Badges another day. It can wait. I don't want to go putting out more than one video a day because pretty much every time I do, nobody seems interested in watching more than one video, and it's usually the video with the funniest thumbnail. So, at least that's what I can tell. It's really shouldn't be talking about it when I talk about Sword Art Online. Let's talk about the graphics. They have a weird sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? PSP-ishness to them? But at the same time, it looks fine, and performance usually holds up for most of the game. Like, when there's heavy activity in one of the villages, the frame rate will usually drop pretty hard, but it doesn't really matter that heavily, considering it's not that bad. It's not that bad of an issue. It's more of a... Is this the direction I have to go in? I hope it is. I went through the dead level 2. Oh yeah, I ducked through here and... Yeah, you go straight up here. As I said, though, the graphics are no issue, really. The battles themselves don't really get that bogged down with frame rate issues. Right. I just need to remember exactly what I needed to do here. I actually have to go back this way. The map is actually very useful. It's very easy to lose your way down here, and that mini-map doesn't really show much of the area around you, so you're constantly looking at it. If you couldn't move while you're in this mini-map, it'd be freaking hell, but... Yep, thankfully you can. There's another thing I should probably talk about as well. Some people were asking, not directly to me, but people were asking about the big patch that Japan got of this game. Alright, boss room corridor. If it's here, it's not too far. If we can fight the boss again, it's not too far away. But if we can... What's what I'm looking for? There's a big patch coming out for this game. Where... guess we can't fight it again. That's unfortunate. Oh well, we can just go right through here. There's a big patch coming out for this game, like, 5 weeks. Wait, floor 77? Huh. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, we're right back at the start again. That's convenient. So yeah, there's a big patch coming out for this game from 5 weeks from now. It's the same patch that people were asking for that adds the 50 level increase and the new area and the stuff like that. So if you're waiting for that patch... There it is. It's coming in 5 weeks. It's actually coming really quickly. And yeah, it'll be out on September the 18th or something like that. So it's around that week. So just, you know, around that week. 5 weeks from the day you see this video is the day the big patch is coming out. It actually improves the game significantly, but really the game doesn't have that many improvements to make other than new content. I don't know, waifu. What do you want for dinner? Wait, don't ignore me. Just... Okay, hollow area. Before I get distracted, hollow area. So the hollow area is what's new to the Vita game. So we're going to teleport to the hollow area immediately. Now, one thing I have to say, for those of you looking for platinum, there is a trophy in this game which requires 20 hours of ad hoc play. Fortunately, you can play multiplayer alone, and it might actually benefit you a little more to play it alone. There's a reason for this, but I'll go into that in a second. So we're in the hollow area here. We can only bring our partner with us, our waifu. But there's also this other girl over here. who we can also form a party with, but we won't talk to her because she's not important right now. So we've got a couple options here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go look at the Implement Element Research List. This really could have been named better, because what this basically is a series of static quests, and the more of these quests that you do, the more improvements you get on your character. So if we go through here, as we can see, I've already completed a few of them. Not many, but a few of them. Not much to them, to these ones here. Excuse me. Not much to these ones here. They just teach you what the system means, and then it gives you these ones. So for example, this one here, I needed to do 200 burst attacks, and that finished and gave me hollow points in a sub item, which is this. So let me try again. Good lord, I can't talk today. So this is a hollow fragment quest. What this does is it requires us to do a specific amount of burst attacks. The limitation on this quest is that my burst attacks become 15% more frequent, but I lose 15% attack, which is quite interesting. And if I finish it completely, I get a new battle skill to put on my skill list. And this one here, I can get a additional sale. I can get an additional item or something. The English in this is actually kind of terrible. But you can also see that it's available on shops on floor 80, 83, 86, 89. You can also get this one here, and I believe this actually makes the odds of a specific boss having an item go higher, but God, I really don't know. The English isn't that good. I'm hoping that there's a way to fight old bosses later on, or even in the hollow area. But other than that, yeah. We've also got other things over here, like, for example, this one here. This one actually adds a bleed to us, so we're constantly losing health, but we get extra attack to make up for it. And we have to finish how many? We have to complete a specific number of hollow missions. I imagine we have to complete 10. The unfortunate thing is that we can only have one of these quests open at a time, so we have to go through these one by one. And it's kind of annoying. Thankfully, the game does restrict you from doing stuff like this. Like, you have to be on a specific hollow mission rank, and you have to be on a specific hollow, and you have to have a specific amount of hollow points in order to actually do these missions. So yeah, it does try and balance you out a bit, but at the same time, you have to do these one by one in specific hollow missions, and it gets really annoying after a while. So let's actually have a look at the hollow mission map. Deep breath. Now, the hollow missions are a different thing. All of these dots here are explorable areas in the hollow area. They're all interconnected. Every single one of these areas is interconnected. So you could probably just like draw a ton of lines connecting all of these to each other. So the idea is that we have these hollow missions all scattered around here, and if we zoom in by using the triangle button, we can have a look at what these might be. So if we look here, finding the Orc Shrine. Orcs in the forest seem to catch the lost villagers and sacrifice them at the shrine. Investigate where the shrine is without being noticed. That's actually a stealth quest, and I'm terrible at stealth quests, so we're going to ignore that entirely. We've also got this down here, Coming of the Queen Bee. A queen bee was discovered, is planning on building a new hive. Destroy her before her servants make the beehive. And defeat them and send them back to their world. Defeat the under crabs. We've also got recommended levels, but thankfully you can actually do this when your level is significantly lower. Just go in expecting more of a challenge. And if we hold R, we can actually see some purple dots. These purple dots are the areas we can teleport to right off the bat. So what we want to do, if we want to be doing a hollow mission nice and quick, what we want to do is we want to be looking for a hollow mission that's significantly close to a teleporter area. Can we find one in a relatively high space of time? Hold on, if we zoom in down here, what's this? Tiny bugs have gathered around the grease that was used to develop golems. Over time, they've become a monster. So that's recommended level 110. We might as well go do that. And the teleport area is the Ruin of Info. So we can teleport to this area right away. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start multiplayer. And we can start it alone. So thankfully we can do that without having to actually get anybody else on. And it doesn't. And as far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually send out any Wi-Fi signals. So it won't actually drain your battery doing this. We can actually select our role. So we can we can go for a scout, which allows us to use our burst gorge more for less defense. We can sacrifice attack for higher defense and enhancing hate. I don't even know what that means. Increase the skill hit and shortens the cooldown, but reduces the attack. And yeah, you can choose whatever role you want to play. I like playing as an attacker, but I'm going to play as normal for the purpose of this video. No real difference to it. It's just a passive stat boost. You don't really have to activate it. And you can choose any one of the friends you've made along the way to come along with you. And they're all their own levels, and they've all got their own little benefits and non-benefits to carry them along with them. So we can actually pick our companions. So I'm going to pick the companions I know have relatively high levels. There he is. Mike Klein. Calvin Klein. The fabulous hair. I don't even know if Calvin Klein... Is that what Calvin Klein does? I don't know. I'm sheltered. So, you wander in with 5 people. So, I mean, like, if we swap to another girl, we could literally have a harem here and nobody gives a shit. And I love it. It's fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap to Klein, because he's actually a high level and I actually like him. So, I like him in his voice acting. That clip I showed back then should actually tell you that I show you why. But anyway, let's go. And now I have to remember where to teleport again. It was the info shrine, wasn't it? So we can teleport to another area. Unfortunately, this list is kind of hard to go through, so... the Ruin of Info. Perfect. There's also another dungeon hidden underneath this area that you can access below just the regular teleport option. Whoa! I haven't been here before. This looks like a Minecraft level. Oh, shut up. We just got here. Anyway. So, this is the Ruin of Info. Thankfully, when we pause, we can also go check the holo map so we can figure out what direction we need to go. And judging by this, I say we would need to go left. And thankfully, you can also come here and check your implements. But every time you finish a holo quest, you get thrown back to the to the teleport room, which is kind of annoying. And again, if you finish like a specific holo element quest, look at them all follow me. It's like a conga line. Once you finish a specific quest, like a holo fragment area quest, you get thrown right back to the teleport room. So it's kind of annoying, and you can't do more than one of those holo area things at a time. One of those holo area requests, the implements at a time, because even if you swap what one you're tracking after you've completed one, that one won't fill up, which is kind of annoying. So just as an example, if I finished my 300 burst attacks and then I immediately went and did like this one here, use just step to dodge a specified number of skills, if I went and done that, it wouldn't count my dodges. So I would have to just, you know, wait until the mission's finished and then just, you know, go back and, you know, this stage is dropping the performance a bit. Oh, we're being targeted, so we better defeat this guy. Whoa, he's a bit stronger than I was hoping for. Thankfully, high-level enemies aren't that big of a problem if they're like about 5 levels in range of you. Because your health regenerates pretty fast once you're out of combat. And your SP and your burst will regenerate every time you defeat an enemy. So it's just, you know, as long as you're not stupid about it, you can usually fight a few levels above your weight class. Just don't be dumb. Get a healing ability or 2 and use them when they're needed, and you'll usually do fine. So let's go on through this door. Yeah, this has got to be the right way. So let's just wait for our SP and burst to come back. See, this game does actually have a stealth system where if you're careful about it, you can just skip right through these guys. It's another bloody slime, Jesus. Also, the camera does tend to go through the wall at the times. Unfortunate, but we can deal. So we found a holo mission and we can do it just right now. And if we fail, we can immediately go through and... Oh wait, no, I get what that means now. Our burst attack is up by 15%, but our general attack is less than 15. So yeah, we've got a time limit, and thankfully, most of these are usually over, and I like how everyone's looking at me. So we're just going to go on through, and we're going to do this crap. We need to destroy all the metal grease, and we need to destroy the big guy as well. And we're going to try and burst attack as much as possible, so that means there's going to be a lot of switching involved. It's really hard to actually swap targets when you're locked on. Kind of annoying. I wish it was a little bit easier. Like, can I just tab left and right to... Or even better, can I just, like, tap an enemy on the screen? Is it... You know, it's not that inconvenient to tap an enemy and automatically swap my lock on to them. I wish I could do that. But this has been a look at Sword Art Online. Oh, I should probably mention, this game does actually have pulling in the coolest way possible. And I'll show it off once, well, I can't really show it off once we're done here, but basically you throw a dagger that does 1 damage. Alright, we're gonna swap, and that gives me more burst. And follow that up with an attack. You literally just throw a dagger that does 1 damage, and it draws them over, but you immediately go to risk level 5, so you kind of have to be careful when it comes to that, but still, that's kind of cool. It's just a nice little MMO mechanic that's been integrated into this. But anyway, as I was saying about Sword Art Online, for the first 6 or so hours that I've played out of the, what, 100 or something that I'll probably get out of this, a very enjoyable take on the MMORPG genre without actually being an MMORPG. Engaging, enjoyable combat, a ton of content, lots of customization, and playing around with stats. Plenty of content to do, because I've only finished one of like the 20 or something dungeon levels. And I've got like 6 hours in the game already, so yeah, lots of skills to play around with, lots of potential builds, lots of reasons to come back and play again. There's a lot of trophies to do. We just finished the Hollow mission, so we'll get Hollow points and money for that. Decent way to get money is to come and do these missions, but you don't really get that much. And I imagine you get more area points, and then those area points just like level up the area and give you stronger missions to do. Shut up, dog, good lord. But as I was saying, enjoyable combat, enjoyable stat building. My earphones just fell out. Enjoyable stat playing around with. That's not a word, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea. Enjoyable voice acting. English is a little bit screwed up, but I find myself laughing at the errors more. But again, there are legitimately times when they can be hard to interpret what they mean. I heard that the Hong Kong version actually got a patch that fixed a lot of the bad translations, but whether that'll come here or not remains to be seen. This is actually a different translation from the Asian version, but they still kind of messed it up a bit. And that might be how it works with Tales of Hearts R, unfortunately. But we'll just have to wait and see for that. But there's a lot of playing around with stuff to do, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of ways to build your characters, there's a lot of different scenes to check out. The voice acting is actually great. I really like listening to the Japanese voice actors. No English, but I mean, they give you decent enough subtitles, so who cares? It's a really good, really enjoyable game. Whether or not you actually want to play this before watching Sword Art Online's anime, they give you a small summary of what everything is at the beginning of the game if you want it. It is skippable, but it doesn't really give you the entire story. I've seen a few episodes of Sword Art Online, but I just never go around to watching the rest of it. And I get the gist, but if I wanted to get any deeper in the story, I could go back and watch those episodes. Thankfully, you only have to watch up to episode 13, so if you get like a 30-day trial of Crunchyroll and just watch like the first 13 episodes through that, you'll usually do fine. So yeah, I mean, like, I've only seen a few of the episodes and I'm fine, and I can't imagine newbies having that much of a problem getting into this game. But at the same time, you know, you've got the, yeah, you can't actually go into you can't go back to town while you got all your friends behind you, but yep. Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment is actually a fully enjoyable game, even with its translation issues and frame rate drops. Would recommend. Very fun, very enjoyable, and I look like a kitty, or something like that. Also, everyone loves to talk to you. How do they activate that from so far away? Good lord. Hello. Can I hold your hand? Nope. Apparently you're not happy with me. Oh well. That's me, striking out again, just like I did in Valhalla Knights 3. Would heavily recommend Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. Ton of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.